invite you to Least Favorite Uncles back here from the Chicagoland area. I'm Logan Myers. That's my beautiful good mate over there.
I'm Henry Hill, and we are back with a horror film to kick off horror in the month of January. The Cinephellas boys, of course, we love our good horror films here, and we've got another horror film from Osgood Perkins, who had a busy 2025, busy couple of years actually, 3 films in 18 months. Of course, following up Long Legs and The Monkey. This time, he's coming back with a film that stars Tatiana Maslany and Rossif Sutherland. What's it called?
Eber.
Eeper.
I guess what you could say that Uncle Henry is a keeper, as they say in the movie. But this is, yes, the third film from Osgood Perkins, not Cobblepot, of course. Third film. Huge fan of this guy, this director, Anthony Perkins' son. But I really love his stylistic approach. Like he's got a nice, vision for all his movies, and I love them. They, each one's completely different. This one being more of like kind of the supernatural type of vibe they're going for in this. Tatiana Maslany and Joseph Sutherland playing this couple going on a romantic getaway in the middle of nowhere in the woods in the cabin, and sets up the rest of the film. But early on, they have a very convincing relationship. They're both kind of awkward and weird, showing up in this cabin, and weird stuff. People start showing up.
And baked goods too. It just goes to
Woo!
show you can't have your cake and eat it too.
What do you
Some could
mean?
say. Well, watch the film and you'll know exactly. Of course, you do know what I mean. And involving a cake there that she eats, that she gets, and all this mysterious things that happen after she eats this cake. And you kind of going into their relationship, examining it, they're relatively new in a new relationship with each other and kind of trying to figure each other out, and secrets start unraveling as the film goes on. He's a physician, I believe, a surgeon, and he has to leave pretty much right after they get there, not too much longer. Something's come up, he gets a phone call, or does he? She's trying to figure out, is this legit or not? It's kind of very mysterious throughout the whole film. It's kind of this dark and creepy vibe. Something's not right about Uncle Rossif there, and Tatiana Maslany's trying to get to the bottom of it, and a lot of weird psychological things are happening as the film unfolds, and yeah, just a lot of visual trippy things happening on screen. Osgood definitely playing the psychological horror here, and it definitely has a unique style and vision, and it's got definitely has his name all over it.
I like the camera work in this movie, which is a lot different compared to his other two. Like a lot of weird angles, like parts you only see part of the face and just like from behind. It gave it this weird kind of like suspense to it. Unsettling, something weird, something's off in the air, something's going on, something darker's at play here as the movie
Mhm.
unfolds. Tatiana Maslany's character playing Liz starts hearing these voices, hearing it through the vents, and it starts, starts questioning herself. Like this stuff's happening. She's talking to her friend on the phone, but not really sure if she's going crazy. It's really happening. And all weird kind of stuff happens after the cake, eating of the cake. And they really kind of dive into that later into the film. But the one weird thing about this movie, a weird character, is the cousin that lives nearby that just shows up all randomly, creepy as hell. Of course, she's by herself because Malcolm, the surgeon, is, left to go to the hospital or wherever. So she's there by herself, and the cousin shows up. Really weird, unsettling scenes.
Yeah, and he doesn't help her out or, help him out anymore, saying like, "Oh, what did he tell you? He tell you had to go to work?" Well, we've heard this before, so it doesn't lend any credibility to his story about having to leave, and has to do with his, sort of past relationships and what happened to those ex-girlfriends, and the bodies laying, the proverbial bodies laying in the wayside that he's went through, without giving anything away. This movie's definitely unlike any of the other movies. It's not really like Long Legs or The Monkey. This is definitely original here. And, not a straight up horror, more a psychological, slow burn, But definitely enjoyed Tatiana Maslany's performance here. She goes to some really dark places and gives a great performance. Rossif, he's kind of there in the beginning and disappears for a while, comes back at the end. So you don't see a lot of them, but I did like the two of them together, their relationship. They played well off each other and both gave, that uneasy feeling throughout here, the kind of paranoid relationship here, trying to figure out what's really going on. And, not my favorite Osgood Perkins film, but definitely, like you mentioned, a lot of things to appreciate his camera work here, the eerie ambience from the movie, the feeling, the tone, and everything. That's things that I did like. Overall, didn't love it, but still thought it was a unique viewing experience. And, I definitely see big things for Osgood in the future. He's definitely got an eye and he's a good director. And this one, while it didn't push any new boundaries or, do anything spectacular, it was still enjoyable and unique. And, he's putting his stamp as a director here. And, a decent movie. Not my favorite, but definitely worth a watch, I'd say.
I'm with you, my man. We saw this, maybe a month ago and kind of had the same feelings, ending the film. The ending's unique for the most part. I think some of the problems I had with this movie's the script a little bit, some of the writing, too slow in some points of the film. But yeah, not a terrible movie by any means. Tatiana Maslany, Joseph Sutherland, they're good. Malcolm's character, like you said, is only there for a short time. It's more of Liz's character being the focal point throughout and finding out about Malcolm's character and what's going on with the House of the Voices without giving anything away or spoiling anything. But yeah, it's just not as strong as the other two films. But visually, it's a good looking movie. Cool camera work. I love the angles he shot with this film. The sound design was awesome. Love the whole cabin where they're staying at. It was beautiful. That being said, I had a pretty good time with this. Probably my least favorite of the three over the past 18 months, but it's still definitely worth a watch. So I'm gonna give Keeper. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. Osgood Cobblepot hair pieces.
I'm going to go a little lower. I'm going to give it a 2.5
Ooh.
out of 5. Tatiana Maslany pieces. Shh.
I want to hear from all you horror fans out there. What did you like about Keeper? What didn't you like about it? What's your favorite Osgood Perkins flick? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to stab, whoosh, subscribe. Also, check out these old dogs on Facebook, X, and Instagram, and our website, Cinephellas.com, for latest, greatest TV, movie news, and reviews.
And we are not done with horror for the month of January. We're actually just getting started. We have a few that we're catching up with that came out towards the end of last year that we're going to be watching and reviewing for you guys. And a brand new one coming to cinemas actually this coming weekend. Tomorrow it actually premieres. We're talking about 28 years later, The Bone Temple, which we'll both be going to the cinema to check out. And we'll be back to review with you guys next week. So thank you guys for watching our review of Osgood Perkins' Keeper. And until the next Cinephellas review, I am Uncle Henry Sutherland.
I'm Tatiana Maslany signing out to the next movie review. Cheese!
Cheers!